Coming up on Hoosier Sports Night, the Indiana men's soccer team looks to continue their hot streak against VCU on Friday night.
And after starting their season 1-0, the Hoosiers football team prepares for a foe from the ACC. This is Hoosier Sports Night.
Hello everyone and welcome to Hoosier Sports Night. I'm Maya Engel.
And I'm Griffin Gonzalez.
The Indiana men's soccer program is looking to continue its success after a weekend with 2 wins against ranked opponents. Juan Diego Alvarado has the preview for Friday's clash against VCU.
Number 4, Indiana men's soccer seeks to add another win to its record following a successful Adidas IU Credit Union Classic performance. And this upcoming weekend, IU coach Todd Yeagley and the Hoosiers will match up against VCU, side who, like the Hoosiers, have won their past 3 games.
They're talented. They have all returning players. They have no freshmen playing, which is obviously it's a nice thing for a coach to have. And they have key players in some of their attacking spots, and they have some 5th-year seniors that are tough in different areas of the field, which gives them stability.
The Hoosiers will be forced to make variations as sophomore Griffin Dorsey will travel to form part of the U.S. men's national team under-20s squad for 2 friendlies in South Florida. However, the Hoosiers have confidence on the depth IU has in its roster.
We have guys from top to bottom that are really good players, and we can always plug them in no matter who's out, and we expect them to perform, and they will.
Indiana will only match up against VCU this weekend at Bill Armstrong Stadium Friday at 8 p.m. Reporting for IUSTV Sports, I am Juan Diego Alvarado.
The matchup against the number 23 Rams takes place this Friday night at 8 p.m. immediately following the women's game at 5:30.
Sophomore forward Griffin Dorsey has taken a large step this year for the Cream and Crimson as a leader on the Hoosier offense. However, his success at forward has not come as a surprise to his team. IUSTV's Austin Matricardi tells us more.
The IU offense has thrived early in the season, scoring 6 goals in 4 games, thanks in part to the pace and playmaking of sophomore winger Griffin Dorsey.
Dorsey has helped open up the Hoosier attack in recent games by applying pressure on the wing and drawing fouls, helping to create scoring chances for himself and others. The winger has a pair of goals thus far on the season and may have played his best soccer of the season on Sunday night despite not appearing on the score sheet.
Griffin had an excellent first half. His decisions on when to take players on and read the second and third defender was good. He at times can be a bit too aggressive and either outrun our support or put himself into some tough second and third defender matchups. But I thought tonight he drew a couple fouls. He got in. Second half he was good, but I thought first half was maybe one of his better segments all season, and he's had 2 goals for us. Done some great things. So we're gonna need him to continue to do that.
It was a weekend of highs for Dorsey, including one particular moment.
I thought Friday's goal with Andrew's ball to him was a special goal and a run that he's continuing to get better for us. When teams are very concerned about our left side, and when we can make that run from the weak side on a flat line, it's a well-executed goal.
Fans may get to see how important Dorsey is to this IU squad on Friday because he won't be on the field. He'll be with the U.S. Under-20 national team in Florida, and the Hoosiers will have to adjust to his absence against VCU. For IUSTV Sports, I'm Austin Matricardi.
Not only will Dorsey miss the VCU match this Friday, but he will also be out for a highly anticipated in-state battle against the Irish from Notre Dame this Tuesday. He will return to the starting 9 for the Hoosiers at Wisconsin on September 16th.
Indiana football will hold their home opener against Virginia on Saturday night, and our very own Jimmy Sutton gives us a preview of what's to come. Jimmy?
The Indiana football team will make their home debut against Virginia on Saturday after a 38-28 win last week against Florida International. The renovation of the south end zone at Memorial Stadium will be a sight for everyone to see as the Hoosiers look to continue winning in Week 2. The Virginia Cavaliers, who are led by head coach Bronco Mendenhall, will be a real test for the Hoosiers as their quarterback Bryce Perkins threw for 185 yards and rushed for 108 yards along with 4 touchdowns in their first game against Richmond. However, if Indiana can play defense like they did last week and force more turnovers, they may be able to slow down Virginia's star. Jonathan Crawford led the Hoosier defense last week, forcing 2 of the team's 3 turnovers, with one of them being an interception returned for a touchdown. As the defense must look to stop the Cavaliers, the offense is looking as bright as ever. Peyton Ramsey will hope to continue his hot start after a 3-touchdown debut, along with Donovan Hale in his first career 2-touchdown game. Tom Allen spoke about the bright spots of the offense and emphasized how Hoosier fans may get a look at the former Mr. Indiana football star, Reese Taylor, a bit more.
I will say this, he's going to be on the field for sure, and obviously the situation with Cole, we have to be able to continue to grow offensively and distribute the football, and so I would expect to see his role on offense to expand, and be able to do that. So we'll see what he can handle each and every week, but I do know that the few times he touched the ball, he's got a chance to make things happen, and I think he's a special player.
As Tom Allen said, the starting running back Cole Guest is out for the season, so the Hoosiers will look to a committee once again this week to find out who has the hot hand. After defeating Virginia last season, the Indiana Hoosiers will look to come out victorious and tie the all-time series lead at 2 each. You can catch all the action right inside Memorial Stadium at 7:30 p.m. on Saturday. Back to you, Maya.
Thanks, Jimmy. Be sure to follow IUSTV Sports on Twitter for live updates throughout the game.
The Indiana women's soccer team had a great weekend last weekend as they got big wins over very talented Pepperdine and Loyola Marymount squads while on the road. In those wins this past weekend, the Hoosiers continued to impress as the offensive duo of Annalie Leitner and Abby Allen continue to shine with a combined 7 goals this season and 5 assists. The 2 wins in Malibu improved the Hoosiers' record to 3-1-1. With Big Ten Conference play right around the corner, the Hoosiers will have just a few more challenges in store to prepare. This weekend, they will play host to a pair of Wildcats. First on Friday, the Hoosiers will face off against the University of Kentucky, and following a Saturday rest period, will face Kansas State on Sunday. After 2 weeks on the road, head coach Amy Burberry is excited to return to Bill Armstrong Stadium.
It's going to be incredible. I mean, it's always great to play back at home. The Crab Band will be back. They weren't in school yet for that first game. So we're pretty pumped to be able to close out our non-conference against a very good opponent on Friday night in Kentucky.
The Hoosiers will kick off against Kentucky at 5:30 on Friday night. After the break, our Jillian Wozlowski heads to Sample Gates to talk IU football with some students.
And we'll look at cross country's dominating performance in Ohio over the weekend. You're watching Hoosier Sports Night.
With the Hoosier football home opener coming up this weekend, there's a sense of excitement around campus. Our Jillian Wozlowski caught up with some students to find out how they're feeling heading into this game.
You can almost feel the anticipation for this Saturday's home opener against the Virginia Cavaliers. We're here at Sample Gates to see how students feel ahead of kickoff.
Yeah, this will actually be my first game as a Hoosier. I've been to a few before, but finally being a student, I'm really excited to sit in the student section.
I am. I'm in the Marching 100. I play the mellophone, so I'm going to be there. It's band day. We got 20-some high school bands. We're going to play on the field with us, so just real excited about that day in general. I hope they do well.
Hopefully we win.
IU's record, I don't think it's going to be that well, honestly. I think at best 5-6.
There's 12 games in the season, Denver.
6-6. So we've seen for the past 2 years, IU's really consistent with the way they manage their game. That's not a bad thing. It's always room for improvement. So this year I kind of see it just tapering off and being the same as it has been for the past couple of years.
1987, 1988, 1989, 1991. Yes, awesome.
The fans are excited and hope to see the Hoosiers move to 2-0 on the season. For IUS TV, I'm Jillian Wozlowski.
The Hoosiers and Cavaliers will kick off at 7:30 on Saturday night. If you can't make it to Memorial Stadium, you can watch the game on BTN or listen on the radio on 99.1 WIUX.
The IU men's and women's cross-country teams are both off to a quick start after sweeping the Miami opener, which featured opponents from Miami, Ohio, and Indiana State. For the women, Indiana put up a 23-point performance that was led by a first-place finish from junior Lexa Barrett, who won the meet with a time of 21 minutes and 42.6 seconds. Teammates Haley Harris and Kelsey Harris also finished in second and third, respectively, to give IU the podium sweep. For the men, IU had another 23-point performance, which was highlighted by the Hoosiers dominating 4 of the top 5 spots. Indiana's Jordan Reese, Hunter Moore, Bryce Miller, and Kenneth Hagan finished in second, third, fourth, and fifth, respectively. Next up, both teams will head to the Bronx, New York, for the Meet of the Champions, hosted by Iona on September 14th.
After starting their season with a 3-0 weekend in Las Vegas, the Hoosiers took a road trip to the East Coast for another pair of matches. The IU volleyball team traveled to Penn State over the weekend, where their first opponent, Texas A&M, were there waiting. The Aggies swept 3-0 against the Hoosiers, but then in Game 2 against Temple University, the Hoosiers came back from down 2-1 against Temple to win in 5 sets. Coach Aird and his crew are taking positives away from their weekend, filled with ups and downs.
Split the weekend, that's always a positive thing. I was really proud of the team for coming back and winning in 5 after that tough 3-set loss. That's always hard to deal with, but we were really proud of each other for fighting back. It's really hard to win in 5, and Temple's a great team, so I think that was a good finish to the weekend, and we're ready to go for Ball State this week.
The Cream and Crimson look to add a few more in the win column when they visit Muncie this weekend for a set of battles against North Dakota State and Northern Iowa Friday, and then against Ball State on Saturday. That does it for this week's episode, but don't forget to like us on our Facebook page, IUS TV Sports, and follow us on Twitter at IUS TV Sports. For Maya Engel, I'm Griffin Gonzalez. We'll see you next week on Hoosier Sports Night.